Good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Henk, for those who don't know. Welcome to this live stream, revealing my massive knife collection in several episodes, and tonight is the 19th episode. Good evening. Probably the same group, steady viewers. I always like it when you are here with me tonight, this evening, so welcome. Good evening, Stefan. Good evening, Dimitri. Good evening, Dogan, Uncle Henk. Sehe mir gerade Zweite Weltkriegsvideo an. Aha, Zweite Weltkriegsvideo. Jetzt brauche ich etwas Positives. Ja, die Zweite Weltkrieg war nicht so positiv. But shit happens. So, and then a knife video is, of course, enlightening. Good evening, John. I wonder what we are about to see. Oh, that's a very funny word joke about what we will see. Okay, well, first of all, I'm very happy and relieved in a way. I was already struggling with smoking for many years. Some of you might know I have asthma and I have only 50% of my lung capacity left because of being addicted to smoking. I started smoking when I was 5 years old, so a very little boy. Those days were different because everybody smoked and the connection smoking causing cancer was not common knowledge. So I started when I was 5 years, and since I was 7 years, the days I didn't smoke could be counted on one hand, I think. So I was struggling years quitting smoking, and I think I managed. I am clean now for about 10 days, but I don't know, but somehow I managed to turn the knob in my brains that I really had to quit. And it's not, by the way, my health that causes me to turn this knob, but the fact that I believe in God now. And I think smoking is, when you are aware of it, it's kind of sinning against the commandments of from the Bible. So I quit smoking. I think it's the ninth or the 8th or 9th. Yeah, I think 9 days now. Relatively easily. I use gum with nicotine, and it helps me very good. So I'm very happy. I don't feel that I want to smoke anymore. So okay, so this evening, special evening about Wee knife again. Most of you know I have a lot of Wee knives, and I only covered so far just a part of my Wee knife collection. And when I did a couple of parts, I came till the late 2016 models. So tonight I will start where I left that episode. On the table, I wanted to show you this one because not everybody has seen this. This is a special customized Zippo. I got this as a gift from a German couple, and I think some of you might know them, Carola and Bodo. And they gifted me this customized Zippo. Bodo customized it himself, and it's really very nicely done with a lot of details. It's really a very nice customized Zippo. So they gave me this as a gift. I think last year or 2 years ago. I don't know exactly. Maybe 2 years ago. So it's awesome. So I wanted to share you this one as well. So that's why this one is on the table. It's a very dear. It's very dear to me, this gift. And Carola and Bodo are awesome people. So okay. So we knife, and most of these are the premium knives. Let me see if someone else. Hi, J-Doc, Junk Removal and Holing, Southern Tire, New York. That's a mouthful. Hi, good evening. Welcome to this channel. Stefan, 10 days. Thank you. Thumbs ups. Thumbs up. Okay. So the previous episode I covered Wii knives. The last one was the 617, a late, the first budget knife under the Wii brand. So we start off with, oh no, the 618 was the last one, the 618. So we start this evening with the 619. And the 619 is a smaller regarding length, smaller Wii knife, and it's a kind of an evolution on the Wii knife 604. This is the 619. It's built with premium materials, full titanium frame, ceramic bearings, N390 blade, ceramic titanium hardware, anodized, of course, and then the blade itself is very nicely done with the cutting edge. It has a very nice stonewash finish, and then the flat high part has a satin brush finish. It has a lot of details, like the cutout slot on the blade. You can use it for opening. Very, very nicely done. Here you can see the lines of the satin brush on the flats. It has a swatch, and then a lot of details on the frame itself. Titanium backspacer, anodized hardware, and I think the color combination between with the blue titanium frame and the yellow gold colored hardware, I think it's very beautiful. And I think this knife, when it was introduced, it was overlooked by a lot of people because it's really a very, very capable knife. Though it's not so big, it is a robust, hard-use knife. And it really has great ergos. It melts in your hands. It has a lot of grip. It has a very nice finger choil to choke up. Hi, Jersey Knife Guy. Yes, still doing the good collection, and I'm not finished. God bless. So this one really has great ergos, also for choking up with the choil for controlled, detailed work. So the Wii 619, smooth as butter, good action, and it's really an awesome knife. Overlooked. I don't know if it's still in production, but I think this is a great, great knife. The Wii 619. Next up, yes, and Jersey Knife Guy, I'm not finished with doing the collection. This is the 19th episode, but I have a lot to go till I covered the entire collection. So I'm sorry. Not really. And luckily, I already got rid of a lot of knives in the meantime since I started doing my collection. Already a lot of knives moved to another owner, so that's a lucky part. So we can we don't have to use a lot of episodes, not as much episodes as we otherwise should have. Next up, this is the 620, and this is a big knife, 4-inch blade, full titanium frame, titanium hardware, ceramic bearings, M390 blade, and then a very nicely done clip. It's the lines of the clip are part of the design. It's yeah. I think it's I don't have the English words for it, but I think it's really very nice. And I could start a small store, I think, with my knives. Good evening, RMD. Good evening, thank you very much. So this also has very nice details like the fuller. I think Dogen will like the fuller, and then the fuller is continued in the frame as well. And then partially a backspacer. Let me see if the focus can be better. Thumb studs. And this is one of the few that isn't a flipper. And here you can see the design of the clip. It really is very, very, very nicely done. And all the knives on the table are still from the era that we didn't name their knives. So they only have a number. So very smooth. Really very smooth. Great action. And then the opening with the thumb stud is very easy. And then the ergos are very good. Great ergos. And then the choil. Some might optically don't like the choil. Maybe not so attracting, but it's great for choking up. It's very safe choking up for controlled, detailed cutting tasks. So the W620, and this was the last model of 2016. And then 2017 came, and then the second budget option was introduced. And this is kind of controversial design. Not everybody liked it. A lot of people thought it was very ugly. But there were also a lot of people who liked it very much because of this. Great action, big knife, over 4-inch blade, G10 scales on steel liners. I hope it shows. Titanium hardware, titanium clip, titanium backspacer. Let me use this camera. This is better, I think. So a very big knife, swedge, a kind of modified Warncliffe with a swedge, with a cutout, a slot, not used for opening, but maybe you can use it. A lot of jimping. It's a very, it's a kind of hybrid between tactical and large EDC folding knife. So not everybody liked this design. Dimitri, I love the reverse Tanto blade shape with some belly on it. The review. Okay, yeah, that is the 620. And I see that one of the comments is removed by Google moderators. I'm curious what kind of comment that was. Probably not very flattering. Yeah, on the 620, I already guessed. Okay, so and then the 701 I have in two colors. So also the complete black one with a very nice finish on the blade. It's a stonewash black wash finish. It's a PVD coating. And the 701 has very great ergos. Really very great ergos. It fits every hand. I don't have large hands. I just have, I think, medium-sized hands. Some people say I have large hands, but I'm not aware of it. But great ergos and plenty of real estate for your hand. And you really can choke up with the jimping and the ramp. So it really melts in your hands. So the 701. And then those budget models were introduced in the price realm around $100. And in Europe, I think around €120. So that's the problem with Europe, of course. Our tax system always makes prices higher as opposed in the United States. And then together with the 701, I think the knife industry was kind of shaken up because WeKnife introduced its first integral. And then an integral for half the price other manufacturers produce these. And that was the 702. Large knife, 4-inch blade, full integral, so full titanium frame. For those who don't know, an integral, it means that the frame is milled out of one piece of titanium or aluminum. Normally, knives are made out of several parts, fit together with a backspacer or standoffs. And for an integral, you don't need a backspacer or standoffs. There is a drawback of producing an integral, several drawbacks, in fact. First of all, it's more expensive because you have to do a lot of CNC work, very precise CNC work. You have to cut, you need several passes to cut the slots in the frame for the knife. And then the assembling of the blade and the bearings and the washers and so on is much more precise and much more difficult because you have little room to assemble it. And then another drawback is for carrying, EDCing the knives, because they are heavier. It is normally knives made from several parts. You can cut out a lot of materials on the inside of the liners or of the frame. You can cut out a lot of material, and with an integral you can't do it. Maybe you can do it, but then it even gets more expensive. So an integral is always heavier compared with a normal frame lock or liner lock. So anyway, the 702 was the first integral of WeKnife. Let me use this camera. And it really astonished the knife industry and the knife community that WeKnife could produce an integral for just $320, I think. That was, I think, the price when it was introduced. RMD, Law 2021, Netherlands. I don't know what you mean by, I'm sorry. So the 702, a lot of very nice details, a lot of nice milling work. You can see the lines of the milling, nice slot cut out with holes. Nice sculpted 3D milled pocket clip. And this part is used to assemble the knife to fit in the washers and bearings and so on. And it also has a steel insert. So big knife, great action, 4-inch blade, M390. So very, very beautiful knife. This was very popular. It was sold out very quickly, the 702. I don't know if it still is in production. I really don't know. But this was the first, and it was very, very popular. The 702. By the way, the choil is not usable as a finger choil because it's too small. So, and very smooth. You can see it closes on itself because of the weight of the blade. So, the 702. Then there was the third budget option under the WE brand. And as you know, later on, we established the Civivi brand for the budget knives, for the more affordable knives. But when these were introduced, Civivi was not yet established. And then the 703 was introduced, this third budget option. And when you know the 617, this is kind of an evolution on the 617, only it doesn't have the harpoon blade, but it is kind of, this is, how do I say it? I'm sorry. This is a conventional draw point. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. There's a very nice blade shape, 3.9 inch, I think, 3.8 inch, something like that. It has a very nice hollow grind and a very nice satin brush on the flat portion, and then a swedge. So very nice contrast rich blade. Everything, as we know from WE, everything very nicely round off. And yeah, this is a very useful budget-friendly EDC option. It was around $100 when it was introduced, around €120 in Europe. Titanium hardware, D2 blade, ceramic bearings, titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer, steel liners. So great EDC option and very smooth as well. Of course, a flipper, great action. G10 on the scales, and you had several color options for the scales. So, by the way, in case you wonder, my finger, I cut myself. I was playing with the knife, and it just took the skin out of from my finger. It was not the WE knife. It was my newest addition. Let me show it. This one. You can guess what brand it is. And then after the 703, there was an award-winning design introduced the 704. Yeah, cold steel, but which one? The reckon one? Yeah, the reckon one. Dimitri, you won this quiz. I always regretted it that I got rid of almost all my cold steel knives. And I was talking with my buddy Hank about this. And I said, I really want one of the traditional cold steels back, like the Reckon or the Lawman or the what else? You have a lot of that kind of very sturdy, hard-use knives. And Hank had a Reckon he wanted to get rid of, so we did a trade with the Immortal. I still had the Immortal because the Immortal I don't think it is suitable for me to EDC. So I had a trade with Hank for the Reckon one. This is the Reckon one with S35 VN blade steel. And so I'm very happy I got the Reckon one. My preference was the clip point, but he had the drop point, so that's also okay. So I was playing with this knife and I wasn't paying attention, so I got my skin trapped between the blade and the frame. So the Reckon one. Very smooth. You can open and close it one-handed. And of course with the triad lock. The Reckon one, not a wee knife. Okay, so the award-winning design in the first quarter of 2017. This design with the Damasteel blade won an award during Blade Show West. Blade Show West is, so you have Blade Show, that's in Atlanta, and then you also have Blade Show West, and that's in Portland. Both are the same show. Blade Show in Atlanta is bigger, more exhibitors, more visitors, and the edition in Portland still has to grow. But that one, oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see it. That was this one with the Damasteel blade. That won the award for best factory knife in Blade Show at Portland. So the 704, a very elegant design, very nice, elegant, slim, lightweight, premium materials, M390 blade steel, carbon fiber onlays on the titanium frame, ceramic bearings, titanium hardware. Yeah, some people call it a liner lock, some people call it a frame lock. It's actually a titanium frame with onlays. So I guess both are right when you call it a frame lock or a liner lock. But it is actually a frame lock. Yeah, the SR1, the 4MAX, and there are. What was the name of the Persian style cold steel, Dimitri? Because that one I also liked a lot. And I almost had all of these in the past. Anyway, the 704 has a very nice bead blasted finish on the blade. M390 blade. Very nice details. Open flow through construction. The Talwar, exactly, the Talwar. That one I also liked a lot. The only thing with the Talwar, I think it was CTS BD1 steel. And I noticed that it got dull very, very fast. Yeah, that was the Talwar. It lost its sharpness very fast. I even preferred the AUS 8 better than the BDS 1. or BD1. So the 704, really a very elegant knife. This is kind of a gentleman's knife, although it's on the large side for a gentleman's knife. But because of its design, it doesn't look like a big knife. So I really like this one. And so smooth. So smooth. Look at this. Look at this. And no play. No play at all. Really an awesome knife. And also room for a lanyard. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah. Awesome knife. And no wonder it won an award during Blade Show. And I was, by the way, during that time, I was responsible for our submission for the Blade Show Awards. And the show, by the way, the choil is usable to choke up for controlled work. So, yeah, very nice. I really like this one a lot. It was very popular. And several color variations were sold out in weeks. So it was very popular. Yeah, the 704. Okay, next up. The 705, of course. After the 4, we have the 5. And still no names. Next episode, when I continue with the 707, we get the first name. Or actually, the 610 was the only knife from the beginning that had a name Starship or Battleship, I think. But all the others only a number. So the 705, big knife. This one was very popular, Warncliffe. Very nice details. It was available in several color variations. Big knife, almost 9-inch. Lot of beautiful details. Titanium hardware, titanium frame, ceramic bearings, 3D milled pocket clip. Very nice details, very nice blade. Let me show it on this camera. A kind of bead blasted or pearl blasted blade finish on the blade. Straight up, 610. Yeah, it was Battleship or Starship. Battleship, I think. The streak is great. I love the kite fin the most at the moment. The streak will come, and I don't have the kite fin, but that is Civivi, of course. But the Wee-Knife streak, I think it's in one of the other episodes. And then the cutout slot has another finish on the inside. Oh, the kite fin. I don't have it's Wee-Knife, exactly. I don't have the kite fin. So I hope it shows on camera the finish on the cutout slot. That's different as on the blade. Very nice details. I like the appearance of the milling lines on the frames, and they gave a kind of micro grip touch, but it helps. Great ergos. Battleship, yeah, Battleship. That's it. Great ergos, and the choil is in fact usable as finger choil. So I personally didn't like this a lot because of the cutting edge is far above the fingers, and that's why I don't like this kind of designs where the cutting edge is relatively high opposed to the thing where you have your fingers. You can't use it on a cutting board, so that's why I don't like these. But other than that, a very nice knife, and it was very popular. It was introduced in several variations, and I have two variations. So also the black one. And here you might see the slot even better. Yeah, here you can see the finish on the slot even better. Yeah, a lot of texture. It adds a lot. It adds a lot of to the ergonomics. I really think so. Yeah. So the 705. And then the last one for this evening. That's the 706. And that was the fourth budget option. And that's a Tento blade shape. Very tactical design. With the ramp and the cutout. It's kind of a bird's beak. Not everybody likes Tentos. Big knife. Really a hard use knife. Steel liners. Ceramic bearings. Titanium hardware. Titanium clip. And then G10 scales. And then a backspacer of titanium with also space for a lanyard. And a lot of jimping. So, and the jimping provides grip. Also in the reverse grip, of course. It's a tactical design. Big knife. And this was quite popular as well. Very smooth, as you can see. Great action. It just shuts, drops down under its own weight. So, and you can use the slot, the cutout, also for opening slowly, if you like. And then the choil, it is usable when you don't have too thick fingers. It is usable as a finger choil, but I wouldn't recommend it because your finger is really very close to the sharp cutting edge. And then the blade itself has a very nice PVD coating with stonewash, and then the flat part has a very nice satin brush, and then the swedge is PVD coated again. And here you can see the compound grind. Very well done. A very strong tip. It's kind of reinforced tip. I hope it focus. It will focus. No, it doesn't focus. Let me see if it will focus. Very strong tip. So you really can use this to pry as well. Although I wouldn't recommend it, of course. And then a D2 blade. So very budget friendly. EDCable option, but also a tactical knife. So the 706. Okay, that's it for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. This was episode 19 of my massive collection. We have a couple of episodes to go, so I hope to see you next week again. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Give it a thumbs up if you like it that I quit smoking. Share it when you like it that I quit smoking. So, and I hope to see you next week again. I wish you all a very nice evening. 19 of 200. Now, I don't think it's that much. Have a good one, Hank. Have a good one, Nasty, Renegade, John. Dimitri, I love how these models have some texture. Yeah, they're okay. Stefan, good evening. Veldsander, goed, dankjewel. Dankjewel. Have a good one. See you next week. Bye bye.